Dedicated, determined, dependable. This is News 10 ABC.
Continuing coverage this noon on the prison cell suicide. What you're seeing right now, aerial footage of the prison where former New England Patriot Aaron Hernandez took his own life this morning. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Ryan Peterson. We've got team coverage on the prison cell suicide of former NFL player and convicted murderer Aaron Hernandez. We start with Mary Wilson, who has more from the alert desk for us right now. Mary.
Ryan, the Massachusetts Department of Corrections says Aaron Hernandez was found hanged in his cell by corrections officers around 3 this morning. The 27-year-old was pronounced dead about an hour later at a hospital in Leominster. Officials believe Hernandez committed suicide with a bed sheet he attached to his cell window. He also tried to jam the cell door with various items. The former New England Patriots player was sentenced to life in prison in 2015 for the 2013 killing of former friend Odin Lloyd. His death comes less than a week after he was acquitted of killing 2 men outside a Boston nightclub back in 2012. Massachusetts State Police say they have launched an investigation. A prison spokesperson says there does not appear to be a suicide note. He says Hernandez would have been transferred to a mental health unit if there was any concern about his well-being. Ryan?
All right, thank you, Mary. Aaron Hernandez's troubles really began back in 2013. A young football player with a big salary, luxurious life, suddenly in the middle of a high-profile murder case. News 10 ABC's Nicole Lally takes a look now at some of the headlines making moments from that point on.
A rising star in the NFL, the young Patriots tight end with a $40 million contract coming off a successful season. To this, handcuffed, coming out of his sprawling Massachusetts mansion after nearly a week of scrutiny and seclusion. Hernandez was arrested on June 26 of 2013 for the murder of semi-pro football player Odin Lloyd. He was released from the Patriots just hours after his arrest. He was found guilty of the crime more than 2 years later and sentenced to life in prison without the chance of parole. In the years between his arrest and trial, though, more trouble for Hernandez. He was indicted in the July 2012 murders of Daniel Dubrow and Safiro Furtado. His second murder trial ending in a different result. Just 5 days ago, a jury acquitted him of the crime. His lawyer says an appeal was in the works in the Odin case, and this morning's developments a stunning turn of events. But it seems Hernandez's troubles stem as far back as his high school years. A photograph of a 17-year-old Hernandez seemed to support claims that he was affiliated with the Bristol Blood Street Gang in Connecticut. I'm Nicole Lally, News 10 ABC.
Thank you, Nicole. Now, of course, this all comes on a day when the Patriots are on the world stage, heading to the White House as 5-time Super Bowl champs. News 10 ABC's Liana Bonavita has a look at how the sports world is reacting to this. Liana?
Yeah, now, Ryan, the Patriots have already said they don't plan on commenting on Hernandez's death while they're at the White House today, though when head coach Bill Belichick was asked just days ago for one word to associate with the former tight end, he said, quote, tragedy. Now, today's tragic turn of events sparks the question, why suicide? Certainly why now, just days after he was acquitted for a double murder charge and amidst an appeal for his prior murder conviction. Former Patriot and Pro Bowler Fred Smerlas gave News 10 ABC his thoughts on that this morning.
There's a lot of rumors going around why he died or why he would kill himself, and one was it that originally that he was being the kid he shot originally would expose him as being gay, and he was getting all pissed off, so he ended up killing him. And another rumor was it was being exposed in prison for the same reason.
Now, whatever the reason is sending shockwaves through the entire sports world, Hernandez's former teammate in New England, Dante Stallworth, said this today. While many are ecstatic about Aaron taking his life, let's not forget about this sweet little 4-year-old baby who has to grow up with this. That's in reference, of course, to his daughter, Avielle. Now, Lions running back Joique Bell also took to Twitter today, said, sad to hear about Aaron Hernandez, promising future to a tragic end. Prayers for his family. And 4-time Pro Bowl cornerback Antonio Cromartie, a bit more skeptical. I thought he was about to appeal his case. Wow, with those couple emojis. Now, this news extended beyond the sports world as well. The Reverend Jesse Jackson said, pray for the soul and family of Hernandez. While, rapper Snoop Dogg also got in on this as well. He said, this is sad. It certainly is. Ryan?
Tragic case. Thank you, Liana. The latest on the prison cell suicide of Aaron Hernandez continues throughout the day with team coverage. Stay with News 10 ABC on air and online. All right, time now to check in with meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a storm tracker update. Not too bad out there right now, but the rain is moving in.
Not too bad, but we do have that breeze we're contending with, Ryan. Check out that Stewart Shop storm tracker weather cam. Kind of see it shaking and baking back and forth. That is a view from Stuyvesant Plaza. Again, we're pretty much clouded over everywhere. You can see an airplane departing Albany International going and departing in the top of the frame. Temperature-wise, well, it's in the 40s, but that wind, it feels like it's got a bite today. And with some of the wind gusts last hour, in fact, now at Bennington, approaching 35 miles per hour, we'll continue to see the gusty nature of the wind as we head through this afternoon as we now touch 50 here in Albany. 54 global scale, 49 Pittsfield, 51 in Glens Falls. Storm Tracker high definition radar slooped the data over the last hour. You can see how things are starting to blossom back toward the 81 corridor. Switching radars, you can see how the activity is steadier and heavier. Basically, from Syracuse and Cortland and Mexico points west. This will continue to move across the Adirondacks as we head through the next hour or so, with some more activity up toward Saranac Lake and also pointing toward the Champlain Valley. All right, the 24-hour forecast as we head through this afternoon, mainly cloudy. Look for the showers in the steadier rain to arrive between 2 and 4 o'clock. 53 the high. Showers in late tonight, a low down into the mid-40s. It's dry tomorrow, but don't expect much sunshine as the showers and the rain arrive once again near sunset tomorrow evening. A look ahead to the weekend. Storm Tracker's 7-day forecast in a few moments. Ryan?
All right, thank you very much, Tim. Happening right now, opening statements in the trial against Alex West are underway. The grandmother of 8-year-old Charlotte McHugh, who was killed in that tragic boat crash, is expected to testify. A jury has been seated. High-profile case. West is charged with illegally driving his boat when it smashed into another on Lake George, killing the young girl. West's attorney says people will be surprised when they learn more about the night of that crash. West is accused of being under the influence of drugs and alcohol at the time, but that evidence will not be presented in court due to an issue with the search warrant. Our Noelle McLaren is in the courtroom right now. She'll have much more within the next half hour or so. We're also continuing to follow the trial, that CDTA bus assault, the first full day of testimony underway there today. News 10 ABC's Lindsay Nielsen is live outside the Albany County Courthouse right now with the very latest. Lindsay.
Well, I have to say, first off, the trial was delayed today. There was a juror who was late, so it did not start on time. Now, 2 former UAlbany students did testify about video that they took on their cell phones during the attack, and both of them did say that they do not know the defendants, Ariel Agudio and Aisha Burwell. One of the videos shown to the jury today was from a student's cell phone. That former student was asked if he ever heard any racial slurs during the fight, and he said no. He also said he never saw any male students hitting any females. A second former student took a video on Snapchat. She also was asked if she heard any racial slurs during what she saw of the fight. She said no, and also said she never saw any males hitting females. Now, both witnesses said the fight was between 3 white females and 3 African-American females. During cross-examination, both witnesses says that they thought the fight was cool. They said it was loud and that they couldn't exactly make out what was really being said. Now, both also said they do not know how the fight started or who threw the first punch. Now, I did try to speak with those students after they testified. Neither of them had a comment, but I did just speak with Alice Green, who's from the Center for Civil Justice here in the city of Albany, and she had some comments and why she wanted to be here watching this trial today. I'll have that for you coming up. We will be going back in, and we will give you the latest. Live in Albany, Lindsay Nielsen, News 10, ABC.
Very much, Lindsay. New this noon, a Pittsfield man has been arrested on firearms charges following a car chase with police this morning. According to the Pittsfield PD, 2 officers tried to stop 30-year-old Adam Macefield just after 5:30 this morning for driving with a suspended license. Macefield didn't stop, and a chase ensued. Driving his grandmother's car, he finally came to a stop near Herberg Middle School before he got out on foot and ran. While running, he tossed the loaded handgun you see there. He's being arraigned in Pittsfield District Court today. New this noon, state police have arrested a man after they were called to a daytime burglary in Claverick. State police say 26-year-old Jason Calderon, who you see here, of Philmont, was arrested Monday. Troopers were dispatched to a report of a burglary just before 10:30 Monday morning. The caller said someone had forced their way into his home, was rummaging through his medicine cabinet. Troopers say it is clear Calderon was looking for prescription meds. He was charged and taken to the Columbia County Jail in lieu of $1,000 bail. Continuing coverage this noon, a hearing will decide whether one-time candidate for governor Carl Palladino should be removed from the Buffalo City School Board. Focus, the complaint by other school board members that Palladino violated policy by disclosing information that was discussed in an executive session. Palladino says information he disclosed was a matter of public interest and that efforts to remove him are retaliatory. School board members and community groups have also been calling for his removal since he wrote that he wanted to see former President Barack Obama die of mad cow disease and Michelle Obama living with a gorilla in Africa. Also new this noon, a Latham man has been charged with criminal contempt after an investigation into a report of a disturbance in Clifton Park. Saratoga County Sheriff's Office says 50-year-old Marjus Mikalski, who you see here, was arrested last Wednesday and has also been charged with stalking. It's alleged that he violated an order of protection against the victim. He's been arraigned in the town of Clifton Park Court and has been taken to the Saratoga County Correctional Facility in lieu of $15,000 bail. Coming up, a shocking report coming out of a local all-girls boarding school. The report focusing on sexual misconduct by faculty members there. How far back those allegations go. And we're continuing our team coverage of the prison cell suicide of Aaron Hernandez. News 10 ABC's network reporter Ryan Walsh will join us live from outside the correctional center with the latest on that investigation. But first, we want to remind you, if you see news happening, have a news story yourself, share it with us, all right? The number for our tip line is right there on your screen. It is open 24/7.
You're watching News 10 ABC. Dedicated, determined, dependable.
All right, welcome back. Continuing our coverage now of the prison cell suicide of former New England Patriot Aaron Hernandez. News 10 ABC's network reporter Ryan Walsh joins us live from Sousa Baranowski Correctional Center in Shirley, Massachusetts with more.
A prison in Shirley, Massachusetts, where former New England Patriot and convicted murderer Aaron Hernandez killed himself this morning. A Department of Corrections spokesperson told 22 News and WTEN they found Hernandez hanging in his cell around 3 a.m. The 27-year-old had tied his bedsheet to his cell window. Hernandez was the only person in the cell at the time, and he also tried to block his door from the inside by jamming some items underneath. Hernandez, serving a life sentence for the murder of his former friend Odin Lloyd, was found not guilty in a double murder on Friday. That led to speculation that Hernandez had a chance to win his appeal in the Lloyd case. The former Patriots tight end played 3 seasons for New England. The Patriots released him 9 days after Lloyd's body was found in 2013. Prison officials say Hernandez did not leave a note and was not on suicide watch. His agent took to Twitter today saying Hernandez would never have killed himself, and his lawyer wants a full investigation because he said his client did not appear suicidal. Reporting live in Shirley, Massachusetts, I'm Ryan Walsh.
Here's your Storm Tracker forecast.
And hi, everyone. Transition into weather on a day where we're sitting back and losing some sunshine and seeing some rain activity that the region needs to have as we head through this afternoon to tonight. A little bit of sunshine still lingering as we make our way from Berkshire County. That is the view from Burlingame Hill over in Adams, looking to the north. And out to the west, up in Inlet, some dark clouds off in the distance. Some of the showers that are starting to make their way across northern Herkimer, northern Hamilton counties over the last couple of days. To the south we go. Dark clouds as well here. You can see a bit of a chop on the open waters of the Hudson River. And that wind has been gusty in nature as we've gone through the morning, picking up just after sunrise and still gusty in nature as we head through this afternoon. In fact, those gusts now approaching 28 miles per hour here in Albany as of last check. Some of us seeing some wind gusts up to 35. Air temperature-wise at 50, but the wind has got a bite in it today. 45 at Alford, 54 at Sloansville, 55 Hessfield, 50 Clifton Park, Glenmont, Freehold, 53 Greenwich, a cooler 42 over at Stratton. Granville at 52, though, 45 Scroon, 44 at Long Lake, and Wanakina at 47. Storm Tracker high-definition radar shows the activity up in the northern Adirondacks. A couple of showers from Indian Lake to Long Lake pushing into portions of western Essex County. It's back on the left-hand side of your TV screen, though. This is the activity to take note, and this is the steadier, heavier rain moving in right now. The western Adirondacks, western Mohawk Valley. That'll be pushing through the Capital District between 2 and arriving into the Berkshires perhaps as early as 4 o'clock this afternoon. All running in advance of a warm front, so hopefully tomorrow it will be a little bit warmer. Then as we look beyond that, out in the Central Plains, another area of rain here. And that'll be the next shot of precipitation tomorrow night into the day on Friday. All right, here's the futurecast as we head through this afternoon. In comes the rain, steady at times, perhaps a heavier burst of rain as well. As we head through tonight, everything eases up as showers. The showers end up late, diminishing. Then as we head through the day tomorrow, most of the day dry until late in the day when that next surge of moisture is coming into play. Late tomorrow through tomorrow night into the day on Friday. Tomorrow night into very early Friday morning, there may be the risk of some thunder, and then things are slow to improve as we head through Friday. Weekend forecast right now still looking dry Saturday, still a shower threat on Sunday. Forecast as we head through this afternoon, cloudy, breezy. The showers and the steady rain will be arriving between 2 and 4, a high of 53. As we head through tonight, the showers will be ending late. The wind eases up as well, down to 46. For tomorrow, most of the day will be dry. Look for the rain to arrive near sunset, a high a little bit better than today, 65. The rain, the thunder overnight tomorrow night into the wee hours of Friday. Slow improvement Friday. Saturday looks good, partly sunny near 60. Maybe an afternoon shower on Sunday, 58. Monday and Tuesday of next week are looking pretty darn good. For the latest forecast, head to our website, news10.com. Don't forget, download the News 10 ABC Storm Tracker weather app. The radar will be kind of handy over the next couple of days. Ryan?
Sounds good. Thank you, Tim. Opening statements have wrapped up in the trial of the man accused of crashing his boat into another on Lake George, killing an 8-year-old little girl. Alex West, accused of being under the influence at the time. Today's the start of a very emotional trial. Our Noelle McLaren has been in the courtroom all morning. She joins us live now from Queensbury with the latest. Noelle.
Ryan, emotional indeed. The prosecution's opening statement lasting just about a half an hour, detailing those very painful elements in the boat crash that killed 8-year-old
Side his jail cell this morning. 22 News.
District Attorney. Video of the boat crash, hear 911 calls, and hear witness testimony. That testimony beginning this morning with a neighbor on Kramer Point who heard the crash, then called 911. In his testimony, the neighbor claims he could hear screams from inside his house when he was calling 911. That 911 call played during testimony. The prosecution promising the jury, based on the evidence, they will be able to find Alex West guilty of the charges he faces, including manslaughter. Meanwhile, the defense arguing otherwise.
Based on his failure to maintain a proper lookout, a failure to use a prudent speed, a failure to veer away from that which is in front of you and avoid a crash, based on all of that evidence, the videotape statement of the defendant, the video of the crash, the statements of all the eyewitnesses, the medical experts, the victims. Based on all of that evidence, I'm going to ask you at the end to return the only verdict that is consistent with the truth, and that will be guilty. It's not, ladies and gentlemen, it isn't that black and white, okay? And that's why we're here.
And we are dedicated to continuing to follow this trial all day long. We're expected to hear even more witness testimony. We'll have more on that coming up on this evening's newscast at 4, 5, and 6. But for now, we're live in Queensbury. Noelle McLaren, News 10 ABC. Ryan?
Noelle, thank you very much. Emma Willard School has released a report of sexual misconduct by faculty members dating back decades. This is in response to allegations made last year by a former student who revealed that she had been raped by a male teacher in 1998. Its authors of the report here interviewed some 75 former students and faculty members about their experiences. In the 50s, the report says a math teacher married a 16-year-old student. They had 2 children and later divorced. There was also a sexually active clique made up of teachers and students known as the Gatehouse Gang, named after one of the buildings where that teacher lived. It went on for years. Overall, the report describes a widespread, quote, grooming of young women, behavior used by the offenders to manipulate students in order to make them more accustomed, apparently, to sexual assault later on. The school says they're committed to changing their culture, policies, and curriculum, and they will continue to investigate abuse and will monitor an anonymous tip line that is open. A special election in Georgia's 6th congressional district has now become a referendum, apparently, on President Trump's presidency. Democrats not thrilled about the outcome. What this victory for Republicans could mean for both sides. And the sports world continues to react to the prison cell suicide of Aaron Hernandez. Why some don't believe he killed himself.
watching News 10 ABC. Dedicated, determined, dependable. You're watching News 10 ABC.
Welcome back. One of 3 New Yorkers is at risk due to unhealthy air. That's according to a new report released overnight by the Lung Association. This year's State of the Air report says over 6.7 million New Yorkers live with failing air quality. It's not all bad news, though. We're told over 14 counties, including Albany, saw their grade for ozone exposure improve. Albany County raising its grade from a D to an A, and Saratoga maintaining its B grade. Suffolk County, meanwhile, remained the only county with the worst recorded air quality in both the 2016 and 2017 reports. All right, listen up, stargazers. You might want to keep an eye to the sky today for witness a close flyby of an asteroid. NASA says the rock is about the size of 6 football fields, passing close to Earth today. Of course, in NASA speak, close is 1,000,000 miles or more. No chance of a collision. Smaller asteroids have passed within that distance a lot, but it's been 13 years since one that size has been so close. It's expected to pass around 5 o'clock later this afternoon. However, skies may be cloudy, so the telescope may do you no good. You can't catch it online, however. Look it up. Coming up, a special election in Georgia, heading for a runoff now. What this race means for both sides of the political aisle. And every pet parent's worst nightmare, their best friend disappearing. Why a local shelter is stressing the importance of getting your pet microchipped during National Pet ID Week.
You're watching News 10 ABC. Dedicated, determined, dependable. You're watching News 10 ABC.
All right, welcome back. Continuing team coverage now. The prison cell suicide of former NFL player and convicted murderer Aaron Hernandez, former New England Patriot, taking his own life in that prison cell earlier this morning. ABC's Emily Rao has more on the investigation as it continues.
It was here at this Shirley, Massachusetts prison that former NFL star Aaron Hernandez ended his life. Prison guards discovering the 27-year-old just after 3 o'clock this morning. Hernandez using a bed sheet he attached to a window to hang himself, blocking his cell door from the inside by jamming it with various items.
Guilty of murder in the first degree or guilty of murder in the second degree?
Not guilty. His death coming just days after he was found not guilty for the 2012 murder of 2 men. Hernandez wiping away tears as the jury read the verdict, mouthing, "I love you," to his fiancée. Prosecutors had argued the 2 men were gunned down after one of them accidentally spilled a drink on Hernandez in a Boston nightclub. But Hernandez still serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole for the 2013 shooting of his friend Odin Lloyd, a semi-professional football player who was dating his fiance's sister. Hernandez rose to fame as an All-American tight end at the University of Florida, winning the 2009 national championship. He went on to play for the New England Patriots from 2010 to 2012, signing a 5-year, $40 million contract, but was cut from the team in June of 2013 following his arrest in the Lloyd murder. Patriots coach Bill Belichick was asked about Hernandez just the other day.
Tragedy.
His answer in one single word. Officials haven't found a suicide note. Hernandez was in general population, officials saying that there was no indication he might hurt himself. Emily Rao, ABC News, New York.
Well, this comes as the Patriots are on the world stage today, too, heading to the White House as 5-time Super Bowl champs. News 10 ABC's Josh Roltenberg has a look at how the sports world is reacting this afternoon. Josh.
Yeah, Ryan, reaction coming in from NFL players, whether they were teammates of Aaron Hernandez or not, media types, etc. And it's been mixed. Some, like ESPN analyst Stephen A. Smith, say they have zero sympathy for Hernandez, but plenty for those affected by the news. Others simply devastated. And then there's those who are in disbelief that this was even a suicide. Take a look. Former University of Florida teammate and current Miami Dolphin Mike Pouncey said to my friend, my brother, through thick and thin, right or wrong, we never left each other's side. Today, my heart hurts as I got the worst news I could have ever imagined. It was just a day ago we shared our last convo. I will forever miss you and love you, bro. We will meet again. Rest easy. And then this. Brian Murphy, one of Hernandez's agents at the agency Athletes, tweeted, absolutely no chance he took his own life. Chico was not a saint, but my family and I loved him, and he would have never taken his own life. Now, obviously, this news is interesting considering he just beat a double murder charge and was appealing his previous 2015 murder conviction, so obviously no shortage of response from the public. Ryan?
No, and his family is attorney calling for an investigation into just that. Thank you, Josh. For the latest on the prison cell suicide of Aaron Hernandez, stay with News 10 ABC on air and online throughout the day. All right, here's a look at the other stories we're following this noon. Opening statements have wrapped up in the trial of the man accused of crashing his boat into another on Lake George, killing an 8-year-old girl. Alex West accused of being under the influence at the time of the crash, the prosecution promising the jury they will be able to find Alex West guilty of the charges he faces. News 10 ABC's Noelle McLaren is in the courtroom. She'll have much more coming up at 4 o'clock. It's also the first full day of testimony for the 2 women charged in that CDTA bus attack. Yesterday, the jury heard mostly from dispatchers who took the 911 calls about the brawl you're seeing captured there on camera just over a year ago. Ariel Agudio, Aisha Burwell maintaining they were the ones who were attacked and say they believe it was racially motivated. And we're digging into that report from the Emma Willard School in Troy, that prestigious all-girls boarding school that exposes sexual misconduct by faculty members dating back into the 1950s. This is in response to allegations made last year by a former student of the all-girls school who revealed that she had been raped by a male teacher in 1998. The school says they'll continue to investigate abuse and will monitor an anonymous tip line that is now up and running. All right, let's take a quick look at that storm tracker forecast. Meteorologist Tim Drawbridge standing by. With that breeze, it almost feels fall-like outside right now.
It does. Got a little bit of a cool bite to it today. Feel the dampness setting in as well. Stewart Shop Storm Tracker Weather Cam. A lot of clouds across Vermont and on into western Massachusetts. There's still a little bit of faded sunshine, but as we head through the course of the afternoon, those showers will be coming in from the west. And that wind, which has been beating a band now for about 4+ hours, will continue to do so, being gusty in nature and approaching 35 miles per hour as it is doing so right now in Bennington. That's where we were last hour. Temperature-wise, we're at 50 here in Albany, 45 Lake Pleasant, 55 Cobleskill, and, well, basically Pittsfield being bookended by 50-degree readings in North Adams and Great Barrington. Storm Tracker high-definition radar shows the shower activity coming on in from the west, changing the radar sites. Let's get a little bit of a better perspective, and you can see some steadier, heavier rain. Western Mohawk Valley, western Adirondacks already have had some showers up to the north beyond Long Lake towards Saranac Lake. So the showers here in the Tri-Cities arrive about 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the Berkshires, 53. Rain diminishes to showers. The showers end late tonight, and most of tomorrow will be dry, mild, the rain arriving towards sunset. More about your Storm Tracker 7-day forecast in a few moments. Right?
See you shortly. The FBI is assisting now with the investigation into a triple murder yesterday that authorities in California say is a hate crime. The 3 victims killed in Fresno were white. The suspect is black. Police say 39-year-old Corey Muhammad apparently chose the victims at random. The shootings taking place within a block and a half of each other in downtown Fresno. Police say Muhammad surrendered to officers, admitting to the shootings while yelling "God is great" in Arabic. A witness trying to revive one of the victims, who police say was walking out of Catholic Charities at the time.
Felt for a pulse, and not that I know what I'm doing, but I couldn't find one. Somebody turned him over, and he was very obviously dead.
Now, at this time, authorities do not believe the rampage was terror-related. Police instead calling it a hate crime. Officials say Corey Ali Muhammad had expressed on social media a dislike for white people and government officials. He's scheduled to face 4 counts of murder, one of them from a previous incident in which he's accused of killing a security guard outside a Fresno hotel earlier this month. Today marks 22 years, if you can believe it, since the Oklahoma City bombing. They killed 168 and injured more than 500. Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols blew up the federal building downtown with a rental truck packed with homemade explosives. It was the deadliest act of domestic terrorism America had ever faced prior to 9/11. Today, a Democrat won big in a Georgia congressional race, but he hasn't won one yet, and President Trump is still claiming victory for Republicans here. Democratic candidate, political unknown Jon Ossoff had an impressive showing in the red state, but he didn't do enough to avoid the runoff with the top Republican, Karen Handel. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest on what the election means for the future now.
Get the word out. Okay.
Today, the seat for Georgia's 6th congressional district is heading for a June runoff.
We will be ready to fight on and win in June.
30-year-old Democrat Jon Ossoff rising to the top, but coming up short in a crowded field of mostly Republicans. A special election in Atlanta's northern suburbs, seen as an anti-Trump movement by Democrats who want to take back the House in 2018. Ossoff on MSNBC this morning.
Washington's interested in what things mean for Washington. But if you come down here to Georgia, you'll feel the intensity on the ground here is about local issues.
Georgia on a lot of minds, including President Trump, who attacked Ossoff on Twitter before the election. Ossoff's Republican contender Karen Handel told CNN the president called her this morning.
He just called to say congratulations and encourage me and let me know that as we go into June 20th that, you know, it's all hands on deck.
Trump taking credit, tweeted, "Big R win with runoff in Georgia. Glad to be of help." But it wasn't a big Republican win in a district held by the GOP for nearly 40 years. Ossoff received 48% to Handel's 20%.
The fact that this was a squeaker, narrowly beating that 50% margin, is not a good sign for Donald Trump. In this suburban Republican district, the Trump brand isn't selling.
But Ossoff, a former congressional aide, could still have a tough battle against Handel, Georgia's former Secretary of State. In the weeks ahead, expect more big dollars to pour into this race and more tweets from the president. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Government figures show airlines are canceling fewer flights and complaints are down. However, they're running late more often than last year. Delta had the best on-time rating, followed by American and Virgin America. Overall, airlines canceled 1.5% of flights in February. That's down from 1.6% seen last February. A little better. As far as complaints, travelers filed 596 complaints in February. That's down from 1,111 in February of 2016. A recall to warn you about this noon hour. Subaru now recalling more than 33,000 2017 Imprezas due to a fuel problem that can make engines stall without warning. Documents filed with the government say the winter blend of fuel can turn to vapor in the fuel line, causing the engine to run rough and stall. Drivers may not be able to immediately restart the car, which increases the risk of a crash, of course. Dealers will update the engine software so the engine cooling fan comes on at a lower temperature. So far, there's no date for when those recall repairs will begin. Starting today, a magical event of sorts taking place at your local Starbucks. From today and through April 23rd, you can buy what they're calling unicorn Frappuccino at participating locations. You see here, it's made with some sort of pink powder blended into a cream Frappuccino with mango syrup, layered with sour blue drizzle. It starts out as a purple beverage that's sweet and fruity, but when stirred, changes color to pink and the flavor evolves into tangy and tart, we're told. The company says the more you stir, the more drinks, the colors and flavors transform. I won't be drinking that. Still ahead, it's National Pet ID Week, and the Animal Protective Foundation in Scotia stressing the importance of microchipping our pets during this time. How that chip could help you find Fido or furry little buddy a little sooner. First, a live look outside here, 87 north of the Twins. Smooth sailing. You see the cloud cover. Still awfully bright out there. The rain will be coming. Stay tuned for that. Meteorologist Tim Drawbridge has details for you when we return.
You're watching News 10 ABC. Dedicated, determined, dependable. Here's your Storm Tracker forecast.
Welcome back, everyone. Jump right into it. You can see some of the darker clouds as we look to the north from Hessville on across the Mohawk Valley, the thruway into southern Herkimer County and southern Hamilton County. You can see these darker clouds being associated with the showers that are moving in as we do speak. To Westerlo we go. Pointed this out yesterday. The pond here is dried up. Just a reminder that we do need some rain, and the New York State burn ban remains in effect until mid-May. Top of the hour here in Albany, we can hear the back door rat-tat-tat tattling. Yeah, that wind is beating the band big time. 50 degrees, south and southeast wind, sustained at 18, gusts to 28. Some of the gusts around the region still approaching 35 miles per hour. 50 as well across the river in Troy, down the road in Voorheesville, 49 Joinsburg, 49 in Hageman, to 50 at Lanesboro, Hoosick Falls at 50, Clarksburg also at 50. Palatine Bridge a little bit warm. Near 60, though. 55 Cobleskill, 51 Glens Falls, 40s for the Adirondacks, also near 50 at Bel Air and Pittsfield. Storm Tracker high-definition radar. A couple of returns up toward Washington County. We'll switch the radar sites, though. This is the one coming out of Montague, and you can see the steady rain now pushing across Herkimer County. Excuse me. Ready to move on into Hamilton County. Also, we got the showers as we make way toward the Champlain Valley. Gotta love when you got a cough and talk still for another 2 minutes. In the meantime, we move back to the south. The steady activity continues to push in across portions of Otsego County, the 88 quarter, heads up Schoharie County, heads up Fulton, Montgomery counties. The rain is knocking on the door as we do speak. Same thing for Hamilton County as well. Here's the warm front that is trying to push on through. We'll actually touch the lower 50s this afternoon. Better tomorrow as we actually get into this wedge of air. Moisture here, some energy as well across mid-country. We'll ride along this boundary and also be able to produce some steadier rain to come into play, more so late tomorrow and through tomorrow night. Here's your futurecast as we head through this afternoon. Again, the showers and the rain do arrive. Looks like the steadiest and heaviest of the rain will be I-90 points north as we head through this afternoon to this evening. Now, the rain will end up easing up as showers as we head through tonight before diminishing to showers on the overnight period. Then as we head through tomorrow, most of the day is dry until very late in the day. This is the futurecast at 7 o'clock. So most of the day dry. The showers and the steady rain come in tomorrow night into Friday morning, and we can't rule out a rumble of thunder tomorrow night as well. Forecasts we head through this afternoon: cloudy, breezy, showers and rain arriving basically about 2, 3 o'clock around the Tri-Cities, 4 o'clock out to the east in the Berkshires and southern Vermont. 53 the high as we head through tonight. Look for the showers to end late. The wind easing up as well, down to 46. Mostly cloudy tomorrow. Again, most of the day dry. Rain arriving near sunset, mid-60s for highs. Rain, some thunder tomorrow night into Friday. That activity slowly coming to an end.
All right.
Weekend forecast, not too bad, Ryan.
No,
dry
so far looks good.
Saturday, maybe the threat of an afternoon shower on Sunday.
Yeah, that breeze, though, it's a little biting.
Yeah,
a little chilly for
Feel the
springtime.
dampness.
Yeah, all right, thank you, Tim. Well, it is National Pet ID Week, in case you didn't know. And a recent study found that dogs at shelters without microchips were only returned to their owners about 20% of the time. That's why our Jimmy Marlowe was at the Animal Protective Foundation in Scotia earlier today, stressing the importance of getting your pet microchipped.
Hey, you guys, I've got a very heartfelt story from myself on why you should get your pet chips. I had a dog before I moved up here from Jacksonville. His name was Peace. When I moved up here a couple of months later, I found out that my dog had run away and I did not get him microchipped. So my dog is gone. I have no idea where he is. So to keep anyone else from getting into a similar situation, I've got Miss Lauren Lafredo, senior licensed veterinary technician over here at the Animal Protective Foundation, to talk about what I should have been using, everybody, the microchip. So Lauren, show me what you have in your hands, explain it for everybody, and just make it simple as to how it works.
Okay, so this is a microchip. It's about the size of a grain of rice. Okay, it's implanted in this.
Gotcha.
Okay, we insert this into the animal. This is a scanner. Okay, there's a microchip number.
And that number corresponds to?
A registry, a national registry, where when an animal is found, they look up the number and they are connected with their owners.
Gotcha. We've got a cat here that just went through the spay and neuter surgery, and this is when they choose to put the microchip in. I have one of the senior LVTs here, Miss Lauren. So, walk us through the process. What are you about to do with this cat right now?
Okay, so I'm going to scan the cat to make sure it doesn't already have a microchip, which it's been done, but we like to do it over and over to make sure. Okay, then I'm going to scan the microchip, make sure it's working. It is.
There's the ID.
Then I'm going to just gently, I'm going to pull up the skin, gently and smooth. I'm going to click it in, pinch to make sure it stays.
And this isn't hurting the animal when they wake up?
Nope, the animal's not even going to know it got microchipped. Okay, there's a successful scan. Okay.
Oh.
And we are all set. It's that simple and that quick.
It's just that simple, huh? All right, here we go. 5-year-old Sosa's ID number over here at the APF. Go to news10.com, though, because I'm going to put the contact information for the APF. They do this from 8:30 to 4:30 every day, but they only do it by appointment. So make sure you find out how to get in contact with these guys to make sure you keep your pet or your best friend somewhere close to you, or at least you have a way to find them if they get lost. I'm in Scotia. Jimmy Marlowe for News 10, ABC.
And easy. Thank you, Jimmy. One last check of your forecast right after this.
You're watching News 10 ABC. Dedicated, determined, dependable. You're watching News 10 ABC.
Welcome back. Before we check in with Tim for another quick look at your forecast, here's what's coming up starting at 4. Much more reaction to the prison cell suicide of former NFL star Aaron Hernandez. We'll have live reports from our New England affiliates on the breaking story. And we take you back to Albany County Court, where 2 women accused of assault and lying about a racially motivated attack on board a CDTA bus are in the middle of their trial, plus full highlights of today's court proceedings and the emotional testimony in that other trial of a man accused of driving under the influence and killing a little girl in a boat crash on Lake George. Prosecution aren't seeing eye to eye on the charges. Prosecution and defense, rather, aren't seeing eye to eye in that case, of course. All right, we all know what winter is like here on Earth, right? But what about winter on Mars? Take a look. Here's a photo from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. Caught an image of some activity in the planet's northern hemisphere. They're calling it gully activity. Active in the winter due to carbon dioxide frost. Apparently, the photo color enhanced to make the gullies easier to see. Northern winters are shorter, warmer than the southern winters, so there's less frost and less gullies. It's kind of cool looking, though, isn't it?
Interesting.
Waiting for the little green men to pop out there one of these days.
I like it's
going to happen.
Flashback to, what was it? Bugs Bunny. Marvin the Martian.
Marvin the Martian.
Standing there waving at us.
He's going to blow up the planet Earth.
I'm just getting cold here, too.
Yeah.
All right, so we get to this afternoon. We're looking for the showers and the steady rain to come into play. Coming into Herkimer County, western Fulton County, western Montgomery County as we do speak. Here in the Tri-City, it's about 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon, a high of 53. The rain diminishes showers and then finally shuts off overnight. Tonight, a low down to 46. Tomorrow, most of the day dry. We look for the rain to arrive around sunset, continue tomorrow night into Friday, and there may actually be a little thunder tomorrow night as well. Tomorrow's high 65, 64 Friday, and the weekend right now, not too bad. Partly sunny on Saturday, and perhaps an afternoon shower on Sunday.
And when there's all kinds of stuff rattling around here, too, between the door, something on the roof over there.
It's the wind.
It's disconcerting.
Yes.
We'll tighten some things down. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Much more news and weather coming your way at 4. Tim, we'll see you then. I'll see you dark and early at 4:30 tomorrow morning.